Hi, I'm Jeff Holland, and if you've made it this far, you've now reached level 8. And 8 is one of the drummer's favorite numbers. When I'm thinking about what I'm playing in rhythm, most of the time I'm phrasing in 8s. And what I mean by that is those musical sentences that we talked about usually have some kind of punctuation at the end. And this is the point that you can be really creative. For instance, a little storytelling or feel. That's what gives the rhythm its cue to go back and start over. When you think about listening to songs, you're thinking about the verse, the chorus, the bridge. Well, how do you know when those are coming up? A fill-in is kind of the drummer's that's our way of going, hey everyone, we're switching to a new part, come along with me. And sometimes the beat's similar and sometimes it changes slightly from part to part. But what I wanted to talk to you about today is this is the part that you can really add your personal expression, your creativity comes into play. So a lot of the times drummers get locked into doing a simple pattern. If you're playing in a band, you're trying to keep the foundation of the rhythm so that the other musicians and vocalists can they can add their parts, they can do their thing. They count on you to be the clock of the band. And sometimes that's just keeping a very simple beat. Think about like a polka. Pa, pa, pa. That really doesn't change. There's not a lot of space to add a fill except for maybe a. Then you can come back in. 5, 6, 7, and 1. Now maybe I want to add a little fill this time. We're at 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm trying to keep it slow and nothing too flashy. The most important thing is that you feel that phrasing. We talked in the last lesson about how to relieve your anxiety and time it to your breath work. This is something that gives us a point to really let ourselves go. Now, let's spice it up a little bit. I want to use a rhythm for instance, that's still based on the heartbeat, but this is another type of Middle Eastern rhythm that comes from an ancient rhythm called ballady. Now there's a lot of different variations for this, and what you're going to hear me do is I'm going to play the very basic variation, and it's kind of the theme of today. I know you're here because you want to play more. So say that through your drum. I want to play more. I want to play more. I'm doing bass, bass, tone, bass, tone. On the 8th time, then you're going to hear me change to a variation. Now, if you'd like to learn this variation, traditionally, this rhythm works for the rhythms ballady, saidi, maksum, and it's still the same. I want to play more as the foundation, but we're going to embellish the rhythm around it a little bit. So each sound has its own language. We haven't talked about that a lot, but the djembe can, you can say gun, dun for bass, go, do for tones, pa, ta for slaps. If I was using a smaller goblet-shaped drum called a darbuka, or Americans sometimes call it doumbek, that's where this rhythm originates. And so I would use doom for the bass, and I would use tak or ka for the edge, and tet for the bass. We'll get into that when we show you the darbuka. But for now, I want to use those sounds, but I want to show you what I would think of as the chorus rhythm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these together. Do you remember what the drummer's favorite number is? It's the same as our lesson, 8, you're right. So when we play this, I'm going to play the rhythm for 7 times. This is going to be a little bit longer of of a musical sentence, but I'm going to play 7 times. I'm going to play a fill, and then I'll play the variation that would be like the chorus of the song for 7 times. I'll play a little bit more exciting fill, and then we'll end as we were going back into the verse. So it goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. This is a good time to just think about your groove. Are you making a good even sound? 7. Here's the fill. 2, and then we're back to the top again, starting another verse. A lot of times we think about the verse being the A part of the song, the chorus being the B, and this is how you get the A, B, A, B. Sometimes there's a bridge or a C, and then we'll go back for a couple times in the chorus. If you think about that song form, then we've got our alphabet into the words, into the musical sentences. Now we're telling stories. And so when you get to this point, you can literally think about story going through your head as you're starting to play. Sometimes I think about it as if I'm driving down the road and the tempo are the dotted lines passing. That's my beat, and the story is the world that opens up in front of me. Sometimes I think about painting a picture, and I think about each sound being a new color from the palette that I add to the canvas. And sometimes I'm painting in a way that I'm improvising. In other words, I'm making it up as I go. So I'm not really sure what colors are going to blend and what the final painting is going to be until, we call it a song or a story. So when I'm thinking about storytelling, that's what I mean about how to express yourself through the drum. Just play what you feel what you play. If you're smiling, you're doing it the right way. I'm Jeff Holland, and thanks for watching. Make sure that you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that we can keep learning together. I'll always be a student, and I'm here learning with you.